Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Gorgeous sunset here on the island of Maui. We are in Lahaina. We're not looking at that right now. We're inside the Lahaina Civic Center, and why wouldn't we be? Great action at the Maui Jim Maui Invitational tonight, and what a game we've got coming for you. San Diego State and Arizona for a spot in the championship game against the Creighton Blue Jays, because in a game just completed about 25 minutes ago, sensational from start to finish. Ryan Nembhard, sensational from start to finish. Trevin Brazil with some threes, keeping Arkansas in it. Ryan Kalkbrenner with a reverse. He had a big game as well. And just a game that's as good as any game that's been played so far this young college basketball season. The Blue Jays are in the championship game against the winner of this one between Arizona and San Diego State. So if you were with us, how much fun was that? Dan Shulman and Jay Billis, we got another great one coming. You like offense? Arizona's got some offense.
Arizona's averaging over 100 points per game under Tommy Lloyd in his second year, and his big guys can really run. Umar Ballo, Azuolas Tubelis, the left-hander, against Cincinnati, they combined for 51 points, 21 rebounds, and were 20 of 29 from the field. Their ability to run the court, to play high-low, really impressive. And San Diego State's a great defensive team. Right. They have got to take Arizona out of transition for a chance to win.
They are a great defensive team, but they got to score some to win as well. And a guy they've been waiting to get hot got hot in their first-round win.
Well, Matt Bradley is an outstanding player, and he got off to a little bit of a slow start this season shooting the ball, but Brian Dutcher, his head coach, was not worried at all. He knew he would get going. He draws so much defensive attention. And against Ohio State, he really got going. 18 points, even with some foul trouble, went 4 of 6 from three-point range as the Aztecs were able to beat the Buckeyes for an opportunity to play Arizona in this semifinal.
Two programs who have met 31 times over the years. Arizona has dominated the series 24-7. Arizona is ranked 14th, San Diego State 17th. And as Jay mentioned, Arizona putting up over 100 points per game on the young season. Lopsided wins over Nicholls, Southern, and Utah Tech. And then a 101-93 win over Cincinnati to make the semis. San Diego State with an 88-77 win over Ohio State to make the semis. And it's the Aztecs who control the opening tip.
San Diego State has always been known for its defense, but they have got a number of different players that can score. They can put up 15 to 20 points. You just don't know which one of the 7 it's going to be.
Aaron pass by Lamont Butler, stolen away by Courtney Ramey, the transfer from Texas, who played his first game yesterday because of an eligibility issue, and he started and had a terrific game for the Wildcats, scoring 17. As we bring you tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines. Trammell and Butler can really go get him in the backcourt. Bradley, Jay told you about Mensah and Johnson up front. And for Arizona, the two big guys just tremendous yesterday. Ballo and Tubelis. Ramey we just talked about. How about the way that Kirk Kriisa is shooting the ball this year, and Pelle Larsson, a tremendous all-around player.
Not only shooters, but the ability to pass it. And one thing Arizona does extraordinarily well in transition, they pass ahead. If you're caught backpedaling, if you turn your head, they will whip it right past you to those running big guys, Tubelis and Ballo.
Kriisa, well short, came into the game 11 for 16. No, I'm sorry, make it 14 for 21 from three-point range on the season, but he misses his first attempt of this one.
Pelle Larsson is guarding Matt Bradley. Just got picked off on that screen, but gets back in front. He is an excellent defender and one of the toughest players you're going to find.
Trammell, not shy, misses the three. Loose ball down to the Aztecs. Butler, the kick to the corner. And a missed three there by Keyshawn Johnson. Arizona ball.
Boy, Nathan Mensah with one offensive rebound, almost got another. He's one of the best defenders in the country. Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Arizona picked second in the Pac-12 behind UCLA. This is Tubelis.
One-on-one in the post.
Everything but the finish. Left it a little bit short. And Bradley is fouled. Head coach for the Wildcats in his second season down in Tucson, Tommy Lloyd, after a long, very successful run, obviously, alongside Mark Few in Gonzaga. And this kind of looks like a peak Gonzaga team. They've got 12 scholarship players. 8 of them are born outside the United States.
Well, Tommy Lloyd, one of the best recruiters in the business, but has developed a pipeline overseas. He is extraordinarily well known overseas, and he and guys like Bob McKillop at Davidson back in the day have really taken advantage of that pipeline to get outstanding players internationally.
Bradley gets free behind a screen from Mensah and knocks it down.
Well, can't get picked off, can't go under on Matt Bradley, who started his career at Cal, where he was their leading scorer. And he's taken those talents now to San Diego.
A long 2 for Matt Bradley to tie the game early.
I'll tell you what, you know that McHale is a great place for a game, but so is Viejas Arena at San Diego. Big time place.
How about the way that Umar Ballo has come into his own at the offensive end this year?
Ballo took some huge steps forward this year. He transferred from Gonzaga. He is just a physical force and is giving great effort, and his ability to run the floor has really ratcheted up from last year to this year.
Touch pass off the fingertips of Keyshawn Johnson.
San Diego State going a little bit too fast right now. Ballo 7 feet tall, gets wide, and shows some poise in the post. That little spin move. And going against an excellent defender in Nathan Mensah, the senior from Ghana.
You mentioned pace. San Diego State going a little bit fast. Arizona wants to play as fast as is humanly possible. What kind of pace do you think this game will be at? Arizona's or San Diego State's?
Well, it's more likely. It's easier to slow a game down than speed one up, but it's going to be a quick game. And San Diego State likes to get up and down the floor. I just meant that they were sort of in a hurry. By saying they were going too fast, they were going in a hurry. It's not necessarily the speed they're playing with, because they want to get up and down the floor too and take advantage of fast break situations.
Larson with a lane to the bucket.
Well, he is one tough player. Transferred in from Utah, an excellent defender, and just really tough. Can handle, pass, shoot, and just seems to always make the right play.
6'5" junior from Sweden, averaging about 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Butler banks it home.
Lamont Butler went to Riverside Poly High School, where the best player to ever play there was Cheryl Miller, but also Reggie Miller played there.
Reggie's okay finishing second to his sister when it comes to those kinds of things. What a backcourt. And Larson, Krisa, and Ramey. Ramey 4 years in Austin.
He can really shoot it. He was the heart and soul of that Texas team when he was there. Great save.
Ramey saved it. And buries it from the corner.
What a play by Corky Ramey to save it and then get out to the three-point line. That's a big-time play.
And a good start here for Arizona, up 4. The 3 way long, and it comes down to Larson.
Boy, look at Tubelis run the floor.
Look at the catch. Look at the finish. Arizona by 6.
But it was all set up by the big guy not running the floor. He sprinted the floor.
Tommy Lloyd told us at practice a couple of days ago, if you're a big guy in the Arizona program, running the floor is not optional. And a foul committed by Larson. We got a timeout, our first time out of the game, with the Wildcats up by 6. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Maui Jim Eyewear. Make every day more beautiful. Ace, the helpful place. And Tommy Bahama. Shop for your team gear at TommyBahama.com. Back to Lahaina, Arizona with an early 6-point lead on San Diego State. How about this hustle play by Courtney Ramey?
Well, first saving the ball, but then the presence of mind to run straight to the three-point line to get that open 3. Great pass by Umar Ballo. And this is where Arizona is just deadly, and one of the big reasons they average over 100 points a game on this young season. Their big guys run. And when they run, they clear space. And it doesn't matter whether it's Tubelis, Ballo. You know, they'll run, they get some easy ones throwing over the top, but they also establish high-low position. And they are devastating in that break as a result.
It's early, but Arizona at the moment leads the nation in possessions per game, points per game, free throw attempts, field goal percentage, and percentage of assists on their field goals. Well, they're extraordinary.
Same thing last year, wasn't it? And they won 33 games before they ran into Houston in the NCAA tournament.
Larson turns the corner. And now runs into trouble. A rope cutting him off on the baseline. Now a rope back out to guard Tubelis. Now has to switch onto Krisa. Now back to Tubelis. And finally a turnover. Good stand there by the Aztecs. And the ruling is it will stay with San Diego State, whose head coach, of course, is Brian Dutcher, who has built quite a program, was there forever as an associate head coach under Steve Fisher. He goes back to the Michigan days with Steve Fisher. 6th year as the head coach at San Diego State. And a foul now committed by Cedric Henderson Jr., a transfer from Campbell.
Well, Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher established this San Diego State program. And I grew up in Southern California. And San Diego State had some good teams here and there when Michael Cage was there. I mean, their all-time leading assist guy is still Tony Gwynn, which I'm sure warms your heart, the great Tony Gwynn. But they never established a program that was successful year to year to year. And Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher established that and turned Viejas into one of the great atmospheres in college basketball. But over the last 5 years, I mean, Brian Dutcher's won like 122 games in his last 5 years coming into this season. 20-plus wins in each of his first 5 years, and he'll get at least that this year. Well, just a remarkable job.
We did the Armed Forces Classic in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. That game was a little bit earlier in the day, so you went to Viejas to see the BYU San Diego State game. That was your first time there, right?
Well, first time there for a San Diego State game. I'd done the NCAA tournament there. But just an electric atmosphere. And if people think that fans in San Diego are laid back, they are not laid back in Viejas. They're vicious.
I tell you, their players are not laid back either. They are scrapping right now with Arizona.
You know, this team, these Aztecs know how to guard, man, and they're grown men out there. You know, they know where the weight room is.
Yeah, that guy right there, number 13, Jaden Ledee, he certainly does. A transfer who has played at both Ohio State and TCU before joining the Aztecs. Also into the game, Micah Parrish, a transfer from Oakland University, at 15 points in the win over Ohio State yesterday.
Cross screen for the screener.
And they don't get it in.
Right now, Tommy Lloyd telling his guys, just calm down a little bit. And you're not going to hit a home run and win the game in the first 6 minutes.
Both teams 4-0 on the season. We told you about the lopsided wins Arizona had before the 8-point win over Cincinnati yesterday. San Diego State's got wins over BYU and Stanford before they got here. As it won't stay down for Ledee.
Set play, just trying to establish Ledee on the elbow. Let him drive Ballo. He just couldn't get it to go. But they got exactly what they wanted out of that set.
Ballo knocked away. And the foul will be called on Trammell.
And Brian Dutcher doesn't mind that one bit because his team is going after it.
Butler will check back in.
And one of the great things about Brian Dutcher, he gets his team to play really hard on defense, but he doesn't bust their chops on the offensive end. He says, you know, if they take a shot, they must think they can make it. So I'm not going to get all worked up over, well, is this a good shot or that? He's a confidence giver as a coach.
Tubelis.
He got fouled there.
Kirk Krisa and others were calling for it. Tubelis can't believe there was no call.
I mean, watch. Come on, man. You kidding me?
It's still Arizona ball. 20 on the shot clock. Krisa to inbound. Krisa gets it back. Launches. And how about that rebound? Micah Parrish was making sure nobody took that away from him.
Micah Parrish, a lefty from Rochester, Michigan, transferred in from Oakland.
Ledee giving up some size to Ballo, had to fade away. Henderson, a starter, big scorer at Campbell, coming off the bench for Arizona ever since Ramey returned. Larson, no. Tubelis, yes.
Larson turned the corner and threw help. The help comes over to try to block the shot, and what does that do? It opens up the offensive glass, and Azuolas Tubelis, his eyes get huge because he's got an easy one coming. Here's a double in the post, digging down.
Parrish steps in and buries it.
Well, that was a really good pass by Adam Seiko, having to chase that ball down, finding Parrish on the other side of the floor.
Seiko, a fifth-year senior from San Diego State, and now Butler just got called for a foul, his first. San Diego State bench didn't like that. You could see Butler signaling a travel, but the call went against him. Elijah Saunders is now checked into the game for the Aztecs, a 6'8" freshman from Phoenix.
And a good player. He hasn't been able to play that much because of all the talent and experience in front of him. But Saunders can play.
And he's entrusted with the task of guarding Tubelis. Mensah has returned as well.
One of the things I admire about this San Diego State team, I mean, they're down a couple buckets here, but they don't panic. They've been in these situations before, and they just play through adversity.
Shot clock at 7. Lots of traffic. And out of bounds to the Aztecs.
And that's what San Diego State does. They take you out of your rhythm. They take you out of your set plays and try to make you make individual plays.
Ballo playing off Mensah on the perimeter. Mensah looking for somebody to give the ball to.
Yeah, that's their Utah. They call it their Utah defense. When they have a non-shooting big guy, Oumar Ballo, unless it's a ball screen, he'll stay down the middle of the lane. And then they top lock and try to deny out on the perimeter, drive everything into the big guy.
Adama Ball down with the rebound for the Wildcats, a 6'7" sophomore from France. Ramey into Tubelis, knocked away from behind by Saunders. Ramey gets a clean look at a three.
Well, Courtney Ramey is going to make those. He is an excellent shooter and just a calming influence out on the floor. He never seems to get rattled.
How about adding a guard of that caliber and that experience to a backcourt that already had Preset and Larson?
Well, for years, Arizona's been known as point guard U. There's Tubelis running the floor again, establishing that position, early offense in the lane.
A 7-point lead early for Arizona. Oumar Ballo going 94 feet with the Illustrator when we come back.
"94 feet with Arizona's Oumar Ballo." Now, Oumar, you played high school basketball in Spain. Where did you play?
I played in Gran Canaria. It's a small island in Spain.
What was the best part about playing in Spain?
Honestly, I would say it taught me a lot about moving before the ball, playing as a team, and also being patient.
Best thing to eat in Spain?
Spanish paella so far is for me it's the best food I've ever had in Spain.
Better than fish tacos?
Absolutely, 100%.
So when Coach Tommy Lloyd gets upset with you in practice, what does he say?
He always say, "Yo, Oumar, I love you like a son, but I don't want you to do this." Like, no, stop that. Stop doing that.
How do you react?
I mean, I take it, because he's the boss, so gotta respect what he says.
He is the boss. Yeah. 94 feet.
That's good. It's good to start some criticism with, I love you like a son. Then you're more willing to be receptive to the criticism, right?
And just for the record, I was walking on a severe downslope.
I've noticed that.
I'm just as tall as Oumar.
Either that or you're only like 6'5" in Hawaii. You're 6'8" on the mainland, but you're only 6'5" out here. Adama Ball off the screen, and look at Butler staying right with him. Deep one for Larson. Comes up emptied. And Ramey missed a chippy ball. No. Besar has it blocked, and Arizona somehow comes up empty.
Boy, what a block by Nathan Mensah. San Diego State has to get something in the paint, some more paint touches.
A long two there for Mensah, the fifth-year senior from Ghana.
Wonder if Brian Dutcher told him, they're not going to guard you, shoot that. You know, go out there and take one. Because they are not guarding Mensah at all. Just clogging the middle of the paint.
No Tubelis, no Ballo right now for Arizona. And a nice job by Henderson keeping the dribble alive and finding a seam.
Henderson just knows how to play. And he played Princeton offense at Campbell, so he knows how to cut, knows how to move without the ball.
Seiko into Saunders. The double team comes. And it still belongs to the Aztecs with 15 to shoot.
The double came off the passer, and then Cedric Henderson was there to shoot the gap on the pass out. Any casual pass, Arizona is going to look to jump it and take it the other way.
Arizona coming into this game had scored 117, 95, 104, and 101 points in their first 4 games. 17 midway through the first half here.
With Mensah in there as a non-shooting big guy, you know, that allows Arizona to just deny everybody else.
Strong finish at the rim for Lamont Butler.
Lamont Butler is a Mountain West all-defensive team player, great defender, and he's strong and physical, but a really good driver, as he just showed there.
Step back by Ramey. How about that? Boy, he's got some game.
Boy, he can shoot at standstill, catch and shoot. Obviously can hit the step back and shoots off the dribble.
Got a chance to be one of the biggest impact transfers out there. 4 very productive years at Texas as Mensah is fouled.
A little shot fake. The over pursuit by Henderson opened up that drive by Lamont Butler, and then Ramey just that step back, getting the defender to go one way and step back the other, and still has the presence to be able to gather and go up straight. That's a big time shot.
So Mensah at the line, second team All Mountain West a year ago. And a couple of subs coming in as Seiko checks back in, Trammell as well.
You know, that game I saw in Viejas against BYU, I thought Mensah was terrific. He had a double-double, 14 and 10 if I remember right. He had 4 steals. Because he's so impactful on the defensive end. And I don't know if he ever gets tired. I know he's breaking a sweat out there, but he never looks like he's tired. Arizona really spreading the floor. Wide open middle.
Henderson, no. Oh, and 2 Aztecs collide with one another and knock the ball out of bounds. And here comes some of the starters back in. Tubelis, Ballo, and Krisa all returning now for Tommy Lloyd.
Both these teams have good depth, but especially impressed by the depth of San Diego State. They got a lot of different guys that can play.
Tubelis the handoff to Ramey. Ballo getting a lot of touches. Shot clock at 5. Knocked away. Krisa got it.
Well, Krisa wanted that from the beginning, but Ballo kept it. And ultimately it comes back to Kerr Krisa, who's an outstanding shooter and just a great passer. Here's another double.
And it'll be a held ball. The possession arrow will keep it with San Diego State. Arizona, Jay, now though out to a 10-point lead.
Arizona keeps the pressure on at both ends of the floor. Great pass out by Pelle Larsson, and Krisa finds the bottom of the net, and everybody knew it.
The 2022 Bad Boys Mowers battle for Atlantis with some really solid teams in there, including, of course, the #3 team of the nation, Kansas. Tennessee also ranked. All kinds of possibilities for great basketball down in the Bahamas. And the top half of the bracket being brought to you by our broadcast team of Sebastian and Jimmy Dice. Looking forward to their call.
Looks like a prom photo.
Maybe they'll let Shambi do it then. See how Sebastian does.
Looks like Sebastian's giving him the Heisman there after those comments about Sebastian's breath.
23-13, Arizona over San Diego State. Exactly 8 minutes to go in the first half. What does San Diego State need to do better, Jay, to generate more offense?
Well, they got to finish some plays around the rim. They've only got 2 points in the paint, and they haven't hit a 3 yet. But they also have to do a better job on the glass, because Arizona's got 6 offensive rebounds and 7 points off those second chances. Well, Arizona's not afraid to pass that ball ahead. They take chances, but without being reckless.
Ballo all alone. Oop. Yeah, a little bit too much there, and he's called for the offensive foul.
Now the key there is he went through the chest of a rope. Now a rope's much stronger than this. You know, he went down easy, but it was an offensive foul.
Ballo 5 inches taller and 35 pounds heavier than a rope. And now it's going the other way. The first on a rope. Reach-in foul on Keyshawn Johnson, the senior from Oakland, and that'll be bonus. That's number 7 on the Aztecs. And it'll be Tubelis at the line for Arizona. Just an incredible game against Cincinnati yesterday. 12 for 18, 30 points, 11 rebounds. First team all Pac-12 a year ago when he averaged 14 and 6.
His first year at Arizona, Tubelis played a little bit more on the perimeter, sort of as a face-up big. But this year and last year, more inside-oriented, playing more high-low and locking guys down in the post. And he is an incredibly efficient player, but his ability to run the floor and how much pressure that puts on opposing defenses and opposing big guys. He can wear big guys out. A little 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure now from Arizona.
Kick ball there on Larson. Doesn't it seem like Tubelis gets 2 or 3 buckets a game just because he runs the floor
Easy.
so hard?
Yeah, no question. And again, anytime he's running the floor or Umar Ballo runs the floor, I mean, last year was Christian Collegue. But if the defense turns their head, I mean, you start backpedaling, they whiz it right past your ear.
What would 21-year-old Jay Billis have done to try to contain Azuolas Tubelis?
Grabbed him kind of like Jeff Van Gundy grabbed Alonzo Mourning. I'd have no shot.
Rebound Ballo. And the assist numbers for Tubelis going up every season as well. Dribbled himself into some trouble and coughed it up here, but then dove on the floor to create a tie-up. And the possession arrow will keep it with the Wildcats.
That was a really nice job by Matt Bradley to come over and dig down as Tubelis was backing down a rope and just trying to power dribbling to try to get into the middle. Matt Bradley came right over, and they call that digging down. You know, he left his man and came and knocked that ball away.
San Diego State, as we talked about off the top, they are known for their defense. What are kind of the pillars defensively for Brian Dutcher?
Well, they put great pressure on the ball. They are very physical, and they don't allow baseline. Like Brian Dutcher believes even average players can make plays when they drive baseline. So they're going to funnel you into help. Good pass.
Larson to Ballo, who just discarded his defender with the off arm and laid it in, and it's a 10-1 run for Arizona.
So much improved. Just the poise to be able to finish that play in traffic, make that catch, not walk. and he's improved his multiple effort plays.
Great shot fake by Seiko, and he buries a long two.
He's made over 100 career threes and a 38% career three-point shooter. And a really good 3-and-D guy, because Adam Seiko can really defend.
And his brother is Arthur Kaluma, right, for Creighton. So if San Diego State were to win this game, he would face off against his brother in the championship game.
Pretty good one-on-one games in the driveway of those two.
How about Tubelis?
He just gets great angles. He's so strong and locks you down. You get caught on one side. Arizona's going to get the ball into an angle to be able to feed the post to Tubelis.
8 points, 4 rebounds already for Tubelis. Seiko finds Bradley. Bradley pulls up, too strong. Rebound Ledee.
Well, look at the crowd he drew.
3, maybe 4 defenders surrounding him and taking away. Look, Tubelis on a 35-foot pass from Kerr Kriisa. Just gorgeous transition basketball from the Cats.
There aren't enough adjectives to describe how spectacular of a play that was. Beautiful.
America gets as much in transition as Arizona. What's more impressive here, the pass or the finish?
Equal, but we've praised how Azuolas Tubelis runs the floor. And look, they're nothing but guards down there. Kerr Kriisa just threw it right up over the top of those guards. But the athleticism and touch to be able to go up, catch that ball, and then find the rim and lay it in with the left hand. Just absolutely beautiful. And the confidence to be able to throw that pass and know that your big guy's going to catch it and execute. Here's the double.
Tipped away by Ballo, but running it down is Butler. And the follow will go inside. A much-needed bucket for the Aztecs. It'll be Nathan Mensah with a putback.
San Diego State's going to have to make an adjustment once they get the ball inside. They can't try to throw a diagonal pass out of the post because Arizona's going to deflect it, pick that off, and get a layup on the other end.
Good block out there by Mensah, keeping Ballo away from the rebound. Parrish for 3 and foul. Or was the foul down low?
That
inside?
Yeah,
it's inside. Yep.
Tubelis and Ledee got tangled up, and Tubelis had his arms on him, and Ledee was able to draw the foul. He didn't.
No, he didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that. He could have let it go in the backcourt and gotten it, but. Well defended by Arizona.
Bradley guarded by Kriisa, gets a switch. Butler elevates. And out of bounds, it'll stay at this end of the floor. 3:57 to go in the first half. Arizona up by 14. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. Guys, thank you. You got to score to win, and San Diego State is indeed having trouble. As Coach said, they're shooting 30%. They haven't made a 3. They don't have an assist. They're being out-rebounded by 8, and that's a recipe for being down 2 touchdowns to Arizona.
Well, and San Diego State is one of those teams that can win games without shooting the ball well, but they do have to score against Arizona. You're not going to shoot the ball poorly and expect to pitch a shutout against the Wildcats with how powerful this offense in transition is. But, you know, they haven't gotten anything in the paint. You know, Trammell able to knock down that jumper. But even with that basket, you know, San Diego State doesn't have an assist in this ball game. That means Arizona's turned them into a one-on-one team.
Trammell, a transfer from Seattle University, first team All-WAC a year ago. Tubelis, so crafty in around the rim.
Well, he's so good at getting the initial angle. You know, he got Ledee on the top side and was able to lock him down. You get that angle, and then scoring looks easy because he did his work early to get that angle.
Larson turns it over in transition. Trammell, no look, bounce pass, and Ledee fouled inside.
Now watch Azuolas Tubelis here. Goes to the other side of the floor and establishes an angle. You know, stays low and has that angle to the basket, able to use that left hand. Not much that Ledee can do about it, but went from one side of the lane to the other. And low man wins in basketball. You have more leverage if you can keep your shoulders and your hips lower than your defender. You're going to win that fight. And he won the fight for the low block and the angle to the basket, and the pass just led him right into his move.
And won the fight against an extremely strong guy. We talked about the Aztecs knowing where the weight room is. Somebody's going to have to rip the key out of the hands of Ledee to get in there, because he clearly has been in there a lot. This is a very physically strong team that the Aztecs have.
And Jaden Ledee's an excellent rebounder that can step away and shoot at the three-point. Just a gym rat.
First time we see Kylan Boswell, 6'2" freshman from Champaign, Illinois. He is 17 years old, reclassified, came to campus in August. He had foot surgery, the number 3 ranked point guard, as you know, Jay, in next year's class before he reclassified. And on his first trip into the game, he turns it over, and Trammell makes him pay.
I just love Darian Trammell. He's from Marin City, California. Had 21 points in that game I saw at BYU. But just very active on the ball, those active hands. And he's so good in pick and roll situations and reads ball screens very well. He may be small, but he plays a lot bigger than he's listed.
And a little run here, an 8-2 run for the Aztecs to get back within 10. Prisa bringing it up this time.
Another outstanding defender, Lamont Butler, putting pressure on the ball.
Tubelis into the paint, hangs and hits.
Well, how are you going to stop that? I mean, you try to make a play on the ball, he just goes through it.
Aztecs getting down the court in a hurry, but coming up empty, and back comes Arizona. Tubelis, by the way, now with 14 points, including their last 8. Prisa. And it's going against Arizona. I think they got Ballo. Yeah. Umar Ballo with the foul. That'll be his second.
You know, San Diego State's got some big bodies out there. They're not all that tall, but they're strong. But Tubelis and Ballo make them look small. And those are 2 big dudes, man.
Ballo 7 foot 260. Tubelis 6'11", 245.
You know, that's 14 feet of problem.
They got a lot of size. Henry Basar, another guy who's played sparingly today, a 7-foot freshman from Estonia. They're looking to get him a little stronger, a little tougher, but they're going to need him to play some minutes this year.
They also need a good tailor for those long sleeves.
Mensah knocks down the front end. The winner will play Creighton in the championship game. The loser will play Arkansas for 3rd place. So how about that? One of Arkansas, San Diego State, or Arizona is going home 1-2 in this tournament. That's how deep this field is.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And a number of teams here that are going to make deep runs, are capable of deep runs in the NCAA tournament. You're looking at 2 of them right here with San Diego State and Arizona. And I don't think there's much debate after the performance we saw from Arkansas and Creighton that those teams are Final Four capable.
Ryan Nembhard leading the way for the Blue Jays, scoring 25 at an outstanding game. And it was a thriller as they beat Arkansas 90-87.
And Arkansas still doesn't have Nick Smith Jr., who's still out with a knee issue.
Kerr with a look away, but it's out of bounds off him and back to the Aztecs.
But when you drive, you almost have to protect the ball like you're a running back going through the line.
They got it right, yeah. Little pinball action, but it's off him.
Yeah, he's going to have to check his arm for scratches and pain. If the upper arm is part of the ball, all's good.
Aztec fans right now making some noise. Both programs have traveled extremely well. Brian Dutcher told us with a smile on his face at practice, this is like a home court advantage for us. It's sun and surf, just like we're used to. But they got their hands full, obviously, with Arizona right now down by 10. Wow, what a steal by Trammell. And he'll finish at the other end. That was terrific.
Tremendous quickness and anticipation from Darian Trammell.
12-4 run, Aztecs. Prisa backdoor, no.
Looked like Parrish got a piece of that to knock it to the other side of the rim.
And a travel. Parrish in a little bit too much of a rush.
Prisa giving that up, just didn't see. It's almost like a defensive back laying in wait, reading the eyes of the passer. And there haven't been a lot of easy baskets. Flop warning on the official.
That's a Class B technical foul. Well, you got to be in shape to play in this game. You got to be in shape to officiate in this game.
I mean, isn't it amazing? You know, you look back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the teams didn't get up and down like this. No way.
Tubelis the offensive foul. His second. So Tubelis, Ballo, and Ramey, 3 Arizona starters, each with 2. Ramey is on the floor, but the 2 big guys are both on the bench. Less than a minute to go in the half.
Important last minute of this game. Can San Diego State get a couple of scores and a stop and cut into this lead, or can Arizona stretch it out just a little bit more?
Big, big shot for Parrish, and it's a 5-point game.
Great opportunity here for San Diego State to get a stop.
Ramey.
What an answer.
1-2 for Courtney Ramey, and he's got a dozen.
What an answer by Courtney Ramey. That was not an easy shot.
Shot clock turned off. Trammell wants a ball screen eventually, I believe. There it is.
Got a switch.
And hit the 3. What a way to end the half for San Diego State. They are right back in it, folks. A 4-point game. Jeep halftime report. Fonz, Seth, Zubin, all yours. Feast Week presented by Lowe's. An intense first half here between Arizona and San Diego State. You had to value the ball, you had to get on the deck, and some spectacular plays as well. Arizona with a 4-point lead as we welcome you back to semifinal number 2 at the Maui Jim Maui Invitational. 37-33 Arizona. You know, they led by as many as 16 at one point. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis at the beginning. It started off Prisa outside, Tubelis inside. Looked like Arizona was going to get away from them, but a really good first half.
Yeah, they were. San Diego State, as you mentioned, were down 16. I thought they showed tremendous mental toughness to cut into that lead and get it down to 4 at halftime. Arizona got a terrific performance from Azuolas Tubelis in that first half. Did a great job running the floor. And Courtney Ramey, the transfer from Texas, just 2 games back off missing the first 3. Had a terrific first half as well. The rest of the team not quite as efficient from the field, but San Diego State had a great run to end the half. And I think what's going to be important for the Aztecs in the second half is run really good half-court offense. And by running good half-court offense, whether he makes a shot or not, that's going to help take Arizona out of their transition game, not give them runouts, because San Diego State turned Arizona over 10 times in that first half. And they scored 12 points, did San Diego State, off those 10 Arizona turnovers. You got to see more of that in the second half for the Aztecs.
Semifinal number 2, the Creighton Blue Jays await the winner for the championship here at the Maui Gym Maui Invitational. The Arkansas Razorbacks will play whichever team loses this game tonight for 3rd place. The first possession of the second half to San Diego State.
Well, that's some pretty good incentive to win this game, so you don't have to play Arkansas. Holy cow.
Ballo with a block, but all alone for the putback is Keyshawn Johnson.
And I like the fact that San Diego State is trying to attack the paint. Don't settle for jump shots.
Krisa trying to get a little space. Trammell not giving him any.
And then you get up into Krisa, and then all of a sudden you got Umar Ballo setting a screen on you.
Courtney Ramey, a big first half for Arizona. Krisa back to a wide open Ramey. Count it.
Well, you don't get that much time to shoot a shot in the game of horse. That was a terrific pass by Kirk Krisa. He had a good shot, but he had a teammate that had a far better one.
Matt Bradley, the lefty, just 2 points in the first half after 18 against Ohio State yesterday.
Now look how Umar Ballo is not guarding Nathan Mensah at all. It's a non-shooting big guy. He's just going to stay around the basket and clog everything up.
Tubelis down with the rebound, his 5th. Ballo, look at this. A little one-handed 15-foot shot put that won't go down.
But that's on Kirk Krisa. Offensive foul. Just dropped that shoulder. But that's on Kirk Krisa. He shouldn't have given the ball to Ballo there. What's he going to do with it?
Larson taking the contact and the call going against Butler. His 2nd.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, he did lower that shoulder, but the defender was not in legal guarding position. He should be able to go wherever you want there.
And this one going against Larson. So he becomes the 4th Arizona starter to pick up his 2nd foul. We're a minute 47 into the second half. In the game against Cincinnati in the first round yesterday, Arizona scored 61 points in the second half, Jay, and got outscored. Cincinnati scored 63 in the second half in a game that wound up 101-93, barring the extremely unforeseen. This one's not getting close to there.
Yeah, that was a track meet in the second half last night between Arizona and Cincinnati. I don't think San Diego State is capable of giving up that many points. You know, last year San Diego State was not as good of an offensive team. They were one of the top 5 defensive teams in the country. But I think San Diego State, their high last year was 80 points. And they've already exceeded that a couple of times this year early on in the season, including that 88 they hung on Ohio State.
Early sub here for Tommy Lloyd of the Wildcats. Cedric Henderson Jr. into the game for Courtney Ramey. And Trammell makes them both. For the most part, San Diego State's done a nice job trying to slow Arizona down. Trammell behind the back. Wow. Tipped up, no good. And again, Keyshawn Johnson on the glass, and it's a one-point game.
Boy, a lot of contact on that shot, but Johnson with the offensive rebound got away with a hop. Well, there's so much traffic, could barely see it. Bad pass.
Yeah, Tubelis throws it away. And San Diego State has its first lead of the night.
This Aztec team is tough as nails. The high-low set taking it away, turning defense into offense. Great steal by Mensah, the pass ahead, and what a finish. That is toughness.
A physical game here between Arizona, San Diego State. Keyshawn Johnson going up strong for the dunk that gives the Aztecs their first lead of the night. It's even physical in the stands right now, Jay.
Yeah, chest bumps the fan. The fan took a charge. Wasn't called. Way to lay your body on the line.
Fourth year in the program for Johnson, the senior from Oakland, California. And again, this, the first lead of the game for San Diego State after trailing by as many as 16. The foul was on Azuolas Tubelis, his third. He remains in the game. Aztecs by 2.
When San Diego State in the second half, their attack of the paint has been a big difference, but they've really ratcheted up the pressure.
Ballo isolated on Mensah. Here's the double. Larson open. And he knew it. He knew it before it went through the net.
If you're going to double off the strong side, you've got to get a rotation. That's asking too much for Matt Bradley to go down and dig into the post and double and then recover to that shooter.
Trammell stops on a dime, misses the jumper, and Ballo the board.
Too tough of a shot. Didn't make the Arizona defense really work there. Look at Lamont Butler battle.
Ballo. Foul on Mensah, and Ballo heading to the line.
Umar Ballo's made 2 really good plays in a row. Watch Matt Bradley here, number 20, go down and double. Then he's got to recover out. That's just a great pass by Ballo. Then on the next trip down, has the opportunity for a 3-point play. It's so hard. You say, hey, Nathan Mensah, great defender. Get around in front. How do you get around in front? That's like $50 in an Uber to get around Umar Ballo.
7 foot, 260. He is all of that. The redshirt junior out of Mali, who has really come into his own this season, hasn't he?
Well, he's really improved his ability to run the floor. He's making tough catches, poised in the post. He played in the NBA Academy in Latin America, both he and Ben Mathurin. We heard about that taco eating contest those two had when they were in high school.
Mathurin now lighting it up in the NBA.
He really is lighting it up. And he was a steal in that draft.
Larson his third. So Ramey, Tubelis, and Larson all with 3. Ramey and Larson are on the bench. So Adama Ball getting some minutes here early in the second half for the Wildcats. Bradley. Follow no good. Johnson a third time and a foul on Ballo, and that'll be his third.
Boy, what a battle on the glass. Keyshawn Johnson going so strong, having inside position, and really fought for it.
And now Jay Ballo is going to go to the bench. So 4 Wildcats with 3 fouls already. 3 of them will be on the bench as the freshman from Estonia, Henry Vesar, is going to take the place of Ballo.
And that's asking a lot to bring Vesar, a freshman, and have him play against this group of men that Brian Dutcher can put on the floor. And these guys are men.
Vesar's got the height, but against San Diego State, they've got More experience in spots and more strength in spots.
A rope guarding Tubelis. And I think Arizona can go inside to him. A rope, a good defender, but he doesn't have the same kind of size.
Deep one for Krisa. And the rebound to Trammell, and now the Aztecs are looking to run. Butler all the way, blocked. Adama Ball with a rejection. Look at the hustle by a rope. And a held ball is the call.
Wow. Dove right on top of him.
And it'll be Arizona ball, but we come back. It's heating up here in Maui. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. The basketball in this game. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Arizona leading by 3. It was a battle for a loose ball down on the deck. The first player there is a rope. Was he trying to call timeout? But then the best part of the play is Tubelis comes in, not even touching the ball, and he's trying to call timeout. And I'm not intimately familiar with all of the rules, but don't you need to have the ball to call timeout?
Yeah, you need to have the ball to tie it up. He dove right on top of him, but then calling timeout. That was a beauty. That was great. Yeah, if you award the timeout, who do you charge it to?
Boy, did Krisa get a big-time screen, and he gets the bounce as well. Arizona by 5.
Little hang time from the Estonian.
So again, some key Wildcats on the bench with 3 fouls right now. And an air ball from the wing there by Adam Seiko.
Well, he had a wide open shot. Like Trammell's so good with the ball.
8-1 run all of a sudden now for Arizona after that big push by the Aztecs. Basar, nice backdoor feed, and Krisa is fouled.
Arizona's such a good cutting team. This Arizona's team still learning each other. You know, last year's team just beautiful to watch with their ability to pass and cut. Obviously having Benedict Mathurin out there. Dalen Terry, that was just an outstanding team. Won 33 games against only 4 losses.
You mentioned Christian Coloco earlier as well, another guy who's gone on to the NBA, so they are. And Tommy Lloyd said, you know, he understands being picked behind UCLA. He said, hey, we lost 3 players who are playing in the NBA. We still got to figure out what we are exactly. Obviously, the ceiling is extremely high.
Really high. You know, and Umar Ballo is a different big guy than Coloco. You know, Christian Coloco could, you know, switch a pick and roll and guard a point guard for the entire possession, not just for a couple of dribbles. That's hard to replace.
Ledee inside to a rope. Boy, good work by Ledee to get all that going.
Yeah, they isolated him on the elbow against Basar so he could just turn and drive him. And there was a lot of bumping going on before he wound up dumping that ball off. Well, look how far out Arizona has to run its offense against this pressure.
Henderson knocked away. Out of bounds to the Aztecs. Well, tomorrow night got a great looking NBA doubleheader coming your way. It begins in Boston with the Celtics hosting the Mavs at 7:30 Eastern. Then the second game, the Warriors and the Clippers. Our coverage tips off with the NBA countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Ledee going right at Basar again. This time the jumper won't go, and Krisa comes down with it.
Good job by Basar to stay in front of Ledee and stay between him and the basket to make him take that tough shot. Lamont Butler on Tubelis trying to just front him and sit on his legs.
Couple of chances, and they come up empty. Arizona does, and back come the Aztecs. Krisa gets run over, and the call going against San Diego State.
Take a look at the top of your screen there. I'm not sure Ledee even saw him.
so no stranger to giving up his body. As Ballo is back in, he takes the place of Tubelis. And now Tommy Lloyd kind of yo-yoing some of these guys who each have 3 fouls. Well, what a perfect fit Lloyd seems to be down in Tucson, isn't he?
Tommy Lloyd is an outstanding coach. Just a gifted offensive mind that's a great recruiter. You know, he's demanding but never demeaning. Just a terrific coach.
And a heck of a pickleball player, we understand as well.
From him.
Yeah. Ballo, yes. Banks it in with the left hand.
Boy, that's the poise that we've been talking about. To be able to catch that ball with the defender between him and the basket and pivoted without traveling.
Aztecs have missed 6 of their last 7 and now turn it over. Ramey pulls it back out. Ramey for 3. And what a run the Wildcats are on right now.
Courtney Ramey is a baller, man.
A 15-3 run, Arizona. Butler, way off.
Ballo down low, going up against Mensah. Tries to drop step and then pivots through with that left hand off the glass. And Courtney Ramey coming off the little ball screen from Vesar. You go underneath it, and he drills it.
Parrish comes up with a loose ball. A huge bucket for the Aztecs.
But San Diego State needs a stop here.
Priest is still going. Ooh, and a foul on the Aztecs. It'll be Butler called for the foul. 11:57 to go. Wildcats by 7. A lot more coming in Feast Week, and Bill Walton's going to be a part of it up in Portland. It is time for the PK Invitational and Legacy. We were there 5 years ago. I think Bill's ready to go. He looks like he is in his element, doesn't he?
I love my trees in the Pacific Northwest.
And we are headed to the Pacific Northwest. There are 2 separate 8-team men's tournaments and 2 separate 4-team women's tournaments. A total of 32 games, multiple venues on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN News. Mr. Billis and I find ourselves on the Gonzaga side of the bracket for games Thursday and Friday, with a possible meeting with Duke on Sunday.
Arizona shooting 60% in this second half, but the Wildcats need to continue to take care of the ball. They've got 14 turnovers in this game, and San Diego State scored 20 points off those 14 turnovers.
Henderson off balance shot, it'll go, and he's fouled.
Boy, what a tough move by Cedric Henderson. Going against Ledee, going right into his chest and drawing the foul. Got the switch.
Yeah, pretty good guy now that he's coming off the bench. A pretty good weapon to come off the bench. A guy who was a big-time scorer at Campbell before transferring.
He had 14 points against Cincinnati, went 6 of 7 from the field, including canning his only 2 3-point attempts. But he really needed to score at Campbell.
And another foul. And now Ballo will be going to the line.
Like San Diego State a couple times, they battled each other for a rebound instead of communicating. It's like a couple of outfielders not calling one another off.
Well, you look at some of the numbers for the Aztecs, just 3 made threes, only 2 assists and 10 turnovers. Although that's fewer than Arizona has. They've turned it over 14 times.
Well, and Arizona's done a really good job on Matt Bradley. He has not had open opportunities. He's only 1 of 6 from the field after scoring 18 points in San Diego State's first game against Ohio State. where he was really efficient from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, but he's had no open opportunities against this Arizona defense.
Now, we've not seen him much here in the second half. Off the back of the iron, Mensah the rebound. Parrish. And the rebound to Ballo.
It's a little low cross screen than a screen for the screener. But everything's been contested.
Kerr threads the needle into Henderson.
Just a beautiful cut by Cedric Henderson. We talked about him playing in a Princeton offensive system at Campbell. Very good sense of how to move without the ball.
And he got me with Kerr on the back of his jersey. First time I've curred when I should have creased it. Don't you hate that?
I think you can get away with Kerr.
Yeah, never Kerr, always crease it. Nice feed either way, no matter who he is. Mensah, yes.
That was one of my favorite text messages last season when we were doing an Arizona game. Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, texted me and said, "Hey, how many college players are named after you?" Just a beautiful cut. Watch Cedric Henderson in the left wing just cuts right to the basket, and Darian Trammell got caught ball watching, and just a beautiful pass down the lane line by Kerr Kriisa.
And that's just good awareness, too, by Henderson, right? Your man turns his head, you go.
Exactly. Yep. Is that a headband or looks like a Scotch tape?
Kriisa to the bench. Arizona dealing but surviving some mild foul trouble here in the second half. And there's a foul on Parrish, knocking it out of the hands of Ballo. And that's bonus now for the Wildcats with 10:24 to go. Coming into the game tonight, Ballo had attempted 36 free throws in the Wildcats' first 4 games of the season. That is being physical, and that is getting it done. And 67% on the season coming in. If he can raise that into the mid-70s, Jay, he is going to have some big numbers this year.
Cedric Henderson right now guarding Matt Bradley. Let's see if San Diego State can get him off a little bit and get a shot for him.
Bradley's going to try, but he had to take a tough step back long, too. That's a tough one. Ten-point game past the midway point of the second half. And Tubelis called for the foul. That will be number 4. So that's one of those, maybe write down the score and see what it was when he went out. Tubelis has to sit. Adama Ball back in. Trammell. Boy, Ballo didn't step up at all on that screen, and Arizona is fortunate Trammell didn't knock that down.
Well, that's the way they want to play Nathan Mensah. But just a smart play by Trammell to use Mensah as a screener and pull up instead of taking it all the way down to Ballo, excuse me. And Ballo, the ball went off out of bounds to Arizona, but you had to go over the top of him. He could have been shooting more free throws there.
The handoff to Henderson. Now Ramey. Floater. And that was a pass, actually, but Ballo didn't realize it. But Henderson cleans it up.
So does he get an assist for that since he was passing it to Ballo?
Can you get an assist for a different guy catching it than the one you intended? Courtney Ramey the foul, Jay. That's number 4 on him.
The foul's starting to pile up for key players for Arizona.
There it is. A couple of Wildcats with 4, 2 others with 3, all of them starters.
Well, you mentioned Darian Trammell transferred in from Seattle. He was all WAC and all defensive team. You know, so many of these players, San Diego State, were either all defensive team in the Mountain West Conference or whatever league they came from to transfer in. Must be hard to get a bucket in practice against these guys.
Yep. Seeing so many guys kind of transfer up now that things are different. And Brian Dutcher is wishing that one had not been called. He thought that was clean. Number 3 on Trammell.
Yeah, got all ball. Usually when a guy would reach across, it's an automatic foul back in the day. But he got the ball first. There's no question.
So Kriisa to the line for Arizona. Good free throw shooter.
Well, Kirk Kriisa is good at everything.
Had a triple-double.
Yeah, he's had a couple of them.
Yeah.
Had one last year, one this year.
Yeah.
He's just got a great feel for the game.
And does not lack for confidence.
Well, he's one of those guys, your teammates love you. The opponent's not so much. He gets under your skin, but he can really play.
Trammell, nice feed inside and the finish for a rope. That was beautiful.
Well, just great patience by Trammell not to just blast off that screen. Came off there with purpose.
Oh boy.
Boy, it wasn't whether he was there or not. It was the outstretched arm.
Yeah.
And that's usually automatic, at least the way it's been called. Interesting. That was
sure
interesting.
looked like
watch his arm there. Watch his off arm. I mean, I don't know what you do there.
That is a tough break for San Diego State.
Yeah, that's a really tough break.
Brian Dutcher pleading his case with one of the officials as Micah Parrish returns now for the Aztecs. And it's also the 4th foul on Trammell, so he's the one who's gone out.
So where does San Diego State go for offense?
And another whistle and another foul. Adama Ball. And the Aztecs now in the bonus.
And when you have a scorer like Matt Bradley who's had a rough night, oftentimes you go to the free throw line, see the ball go through the net a couple of times. That can get you going.
He's had some good games in his career against Arizona. Played at Cal a couple of years and has averaged better than 13 points per game in 4 games against the Wildcats in his career.
Well, Butler is just hounding Kriisa out top.
Tipped away. Ledee comes up with a steal. This feels like a big trip, doesn't it? Bradley. And an offensive foul. Larson steps in and takes the charge. 7:57 to go. Arizona by 10. semifinal earlier today. Creighton against Arkansas. Fabulous game. Back and forth they went. And the Blue Jays getting incredible performances from Ryan Kalkbrenner. And Ryan Nembhard was the player of the game. We didn't know he had that in him, but he's got that in him. 25 points for the sophomore, and he leads the Blue Jays into the championship. What a team Greg McDermott has this year, Jay.
A great team, and Arkansas played fantastic. That was as high a level game as you're going to see, especially in November. That was worthy of an Elite Eight game, and both those teams capable of winning an Elite Eight game and winding up in Houston for the Final Four. Just a big time game between Creighton and Arkansas. Well, what a battle between Ledee and Ballo down low.
Prisa knocks down a three, his second of the night.
He doesn't need a lot of space. Just caught it and straight up. That was a big shot to stretch this lead out to 13.
And 11 of his 14 have come here in the second half, and now Butler gets called for the foul, number 4 on him. And it's not going the way Brian Dutcher wants it to go right now. Butler sits with 4. Trammell, who's got 4, replaces him. Prisa, the last 7 points for the Wildcats. Toe on the line, it looked like. Misses the long jumper. And it's down to the Aztecs with Parrish. Whoops.
Had Henderson behind him and just lost it.
Transition 3 for Henderson. And Arizona has matched its largest lead of the game at 16. Nope, we've got 72 on one scoreboard and 71 on another. Have to see if that was a 2 or a 3, but either way, a heck of a run for Arizona.
Well, Arizona, an outstanding offensive team, but able to stretch this lead out because of the Wildcat defense. Ball with the pass and the toe on the line for Cedric Henderson. But in years past, you'd want on a break to get to the rim. Now you run to that three-point line. Got to get some smaller shoes.
So it's a long 2 for Henderson and a 15-point lead. They led by 16 early. San Diego State came all the way back and took the lead for all of 15 seconds. And now Arizona's back out to a 15-point lead, shooting 56%, Jay, from the field against one of the best defensive teams in America.
Well, not surprised at Arizona's offensive prowess, but you have to be impressed with the defense that the Wildcats have played against this San Diego State team.
Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Continental Tire.
Well, the first half, running the floor, Julius Tubelis, and a great pass ahead by Kirk Prisa. What a catch and finish by the big lefty from Lithuania. A lot of alliteration from anxious analysts placed in powerful posts.
I didn't take the bait when you said poise in the post later, so.
But you were looking.
Yeah. But by gosh, you were going to get there one way or another, weren't you? 71-56 Wildcats. Again, Ballo not guarding Mensah at all out on the perimeter, staying in the paint. And as a result, able to disrupt that pass.
Good recovery by Oumar Ballo to knock that away. Disrupted.
And Ball just a little bit loose with it, lost it.
And Trammell was open deep, but Bradley didn't see him.
Trammell fouled by Adama Ball. That'll be his second.
Yeah, not a good foul. If Trammell turns the corner, make the little guy score over you rather than foul him and let him go to the free throw line.
So Ball out, Ramey back in. Ramey's got 4. And Bradley is going to go out now for the Aztecs.
And Ramey's a game changer for Arizona with his ability to shoot the ball. He can make every kind of perimeter shot, catch and shoot, put it on the deck, pull up. Great range. And you wonder, going down the stretch with the foul difficulties that San Diego State is facing, can they get enough stops, being aggressive defensively to try to cut into this lead in the last 6 minutes of regulation? That's a tall hill to climb.
Friso, a little stop and go, and it drops. Nice change of pace.
Well, he can be aggressive because San Diego State can't afford to give up a foul. And now Arizona can afford to run a little clock. You don't want to put the brakes completely on, but the clock's your friend now.
Ramey, largest lead of the night for the Wildcats.
It's so nice when you've got a player that can get his own shot and create offense like Courtney Ramey can. Not even guarding Nathan Mensah.
Trammell goes by Ballo and finishes. Nice strong finish because he got challenged by Henderson.
Yeah, went right into his chest. Almost seemed like he went up once he hit him.
Ramey again. This time short.
Looked like he wanted to pass it, then thought better of it.
Parrish, a quick three. And again, not in as much of a rush with 4:42 to go.
If they use the whole clock, I'm not sure there are enough possessions left for San Diego State to score enough points.
Ballo lays it in and draws the foul.
Another great show of patience by Oumar Ballo on the catch. Could have gone straight up with it, but was very poised once he caught it. Another good cut along the baseline. A great delivery by Ramey. And that's an outstanding pass and catch from Henderson to Ballo.
And listen to the noise in this tiny little gym being made by the Arizona fans. Ballo now with 12 points and 8 rebounds on the night.
Well, Arizona plays such an exciting brand of basketball. It's got to be fun to play this way.
The Aztecs need scores and scores quick. A rope, no, and Ballo says, that's all mine, thank you very much. A rebound away from a double-double.
Now, Ballo's been terrific in this tournament.
Friso, nobody stops him.
Just great pace coming off the high screen. You know, Ballo rolls to the basket, he just takes it down the right lane line.
Pretty from Trammell. Nice little drop-off bounce pass to a rope. But we're inside 4 minutes with a fairly comfortable 19-point lead. Arizona getting closer to a date with Creighton in the championship game. And Ballo called for the foul. That will be his fourth as we step aside with 3:36 to play. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Maui Jim Eyewear. Make every day more beautiful. Hawaiian Airlines, serving Maui with nonstop flights from Kahului to 10 West Coast cities. And Ace, the helpful place. Arizona bigs piling up the numbers. Their leading scorer, Jay, in this game tonight, Courtney Ramey, who's had a terrific night.
Courtney Ramey's got 21 points in this game. He's 8 of 12 from the field. 5 of 5 from three-point range. He's added 6 rebounds after a 17-point game against Cincinnati, in which he went 3 of 5 from three-point range. 80% from 3 in 2 games is pretty darn good. What a pickup out of the transfer portal for Arizona to get Courtney Ramey, and he has delivered in just his second game back.
And he is tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Tommy Bahama. 3:36 to go. The Wildcats up 19. A rope to hand off to Trammell. Right at Ballo. And Omar Ballo, if it's him, and it is, he just fouled out of the game.
Darren Trammell is a body-seeking guard. At his size, he's not going to shoot over too many big guys, but he gets into their bodies and draws that contact.
Big ovation for Ballo as he fouls out of the game.
Another really good game for Umar Ballo, just 1 rebound away from another double-double after having 21 points and 10 rebounds in the opening game against Cincinnati.
I wouldn't think many teams can compete, Jay, fair and square with a big man combo like Ballo and Tubelis.
Yeah, and bringing Vasar off the bench. I mean, there's a lot of size, and it's size that runs. I mean, everybody talks about running the floor and wanting to play up tempo. It's hard to run the floor as hard as Tubelis and Ballo do it, and they do it relentlessly, especially Tubelis.
Larson gets it over. Pressure comes and he finds Creason.
So many good handlers on the floor for Arizona.
Larson, great patience, and he knocks it home.
Yeah, terrific shot fake. Threw a little bit of contact, got it off the glass.
Trammell with a burst of speed. But Arizona will trade buckets as long as that clock keeps on ticking.
This team scores 85 points falling out of bed.
Bradley elevates for a 3. Now puts it on the deck, cradles it, and draws the foul. There's some tired guys out here. There's been a lot of running up and down. Second game in as many days, with another one coming tomorrow. If you're not in shape when you get here, you're in shape when you leave.
And that's what makes rest and recovery so important.
Talking about us?
I don't know about the recovery part, but the teams are so much more sophisticated in their rest and recovery than they used to be.
What was your rest and recovery in the 80s as a player at Duke?
Couple of pops.
That pretty much seems to be your game plan as an announcer here in 2022.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
It used to be worse with Bill Raftery going to Longies after every game.
2:15 to go. Creason, another one, his 3rd of the night, and he's got 21 now.
So good playing off those high ball screens. Comes off with such great pace that he can shoot it, but also can drive it and makes really good decisions.
Seiko into the paint, kick back out, deep one for Trammell. And Tubelis down with the rebound, his 7th on the night, and now they're going to walk it up the court, and they can feel it right now. Timeout as Tommy Lloyd's going to get some of his regulars out, knowing there's a championship game coming up fast. The game will be, noon local tomorrow. Sports Center next from Los Angeles with Stan and Ashley. Ben Simmons plays in Philly for the first time as a net. Also, who is in prime position to make a top 4 jump in the CFP rankings, and a shocking upset in the World Cup on Tuesday. Sports Center from LA with Stan and Ashley on ESPN and the ESPN app. All right, what do you want to size up Creighton and Arizona a little bit?
Boy, it is going to be a battle because both those teams very skilled and can really score. That's a veteran Creighton team where the point guard matchup between Kirk Friesa and Ryan Nembhard is going to be a pleasure to watch.
Those are 2 tough customers. Both of those guys, they're both very skilled as Vesar scores, but they're both very tough players as well. Final minute. There'll be lots of great matchups. In the 3rd place game, it'll be San Diego State and Arkansas. Creighton and Arizona in the championship. Again, noon local here in Lahaina, 5 o'clock Eastern time. So that game is about 16 hours away. That's all. Going to need to rest and recover in a hurry.
You can do it.
I can do it. I'm from Canada. Boswell being hounded by Trammell.
Boswell coming off a 2nd place finish in the hula contest, where he was the favorite heading in. I actually thought he won it, honestly.
A little bit of controversy, but everybody emerged as friends.
No, it came by the rules. I mean, it was by crowd applause, and the Arkansas fans were loud.
Ledee goes the length of the court. Shot clock turned off. That'll be that. Arizona onto the championship game. They will defeat San Diego State 87-70, and we should have a great one between the Wildcats and the Blue Jays for you tomorrow.
A lot of firepower on this Arizona team against an excellent defensive team in San Diego State. Put up 87 points.
Ramey with 21. Kriisa with 21. 87 points, actually the fewest of the season for Arizona. That shows you how talented they are offensively. And we'll have a great one against the Blue Jays tomorrow. For Jay Billis and our entire crew, I'm Dan Schulman saying thanks for joining us here in the Maui. Let's send you back to Sports Center now with Ashley and Stan.